Okay, so welcome back to Modern Lessons. We're going to be talking about how to create a WordPress.com, emphasis on .com website. It basically runs on the WordPress system and software. It's a little different than if you were to install it yourself, but for all intents and purposes, it's basically the full amount of WordPress, and it's all the features you need and none of the ones that you don't. So WordPress.com is the one where you can sign up for an account, don't have to do any installation. It's all managed by the Automattic team, which are the people who built the entire WordPress system. But none of that really matters. All you need to know is it's simple to do, simple to use, and easy to update, and you don't have to actually do anything to manage it. And it's free, best of all. So you'll go to WordPress.com up here, make sure it's .com, and then hit Get Started, the big orange button. So we already hit that, and then that'll bring you to the form. And this is already filled out, as you can see, just to save a little bit of time. You can go here and you'll have to enter in your email address, your username. This is so you can log in later, so make sure you know what it is. Your password, you can make that whatever you want. So we'll just punch that in, and you can choose what you want your website to be. It'll be whatever name you choose, .wordpress.com. If you want a fancier domain name, like modernlessons.com, which is already taken, you could just upgrade right here, and it's basically $100 a year, and you get the same stuff that you would with the free, plus the most important feature of having your own domain name. So it's a pretty awesome feature if you don't care too much about what the design looks like, because I'll show you in a little bit the differences. So we'll just hit Create Blog, and this is the magical part where we're creating our own blog, and we will just quite simply get our activation email, which is sent over pretty quickly. We'll go to activate blog. That's exactly what it'll look like. Now we're humming right along. Sorry it takes a couple seconds, but now we have our magical first blog. Pretty cool, huh? So now we'll set it up. What would we like it to be called? We'll call it Modern Lessons WordPress. And then we'll just leave that. This site is the Cat's Pajamas. Choose the language we want it in. Hit Next Step. And here's the themes. So as I said before, since it's WordPress.com, that means that they choose the themes for you. As you saw in a couple other lessons in the Modern Lessons course that you're in, you can buy premium themes for about $50 usually, and they're a lot more robust than the ones you get on WordPress.com. However, the WordPress.com sites has a bunch of free themes that are pretty awesome and really good if all you care about is getting your content out there and don't care as much about the design. So we'll just choose that one, and you can always customize it, and it'll run through a couple of the features for you. I'm not going to go through the part of customizing it, but there's a ton of things that you can do, and it's pretty straightforward how that works. So we'll just hit Next Step, and then we can create our first post. So if you've ever used Tumblr, this is kind of like that, but for the most part, it's really straightforward. So let's just say we want to do text. What would we like to title our first post? This is our first post. Hooray! All right, and if we wanted to insert a photo, we can click up here. We can tag it so other people can find it, and it sort of gives an idea about what it's about. So we'll just tag it as WordPress, comma, post, comma, cats, because maybe it's about cats. I love cats. There you go. So now it will automatically save for you, which is really handy, but let's say we want to just go ahead and publish it. So now we'll have our first post all ready and waiting for us once it is all done, which is a really handy tool. So basically now you can see this is our dashboard, it's called. So it's your WordPress.com dashboard, and it's where you can add a lot of other WordPress sites to there. So if you can use this basically instead of Google Reader, which as of the recording of this is getting shut down. So basically you can go around and follow other blogs. It'll recommend a few, just like Twitter, and this could become quickly addicting. So let's just say we'll go to My Blogs, because I just set one up. And remember, I called it Modern Lessons WordPress, so we'll just click on that. I hope that you're able to understand how this is going. All right, and now we have our blog. So it is officially there, as you can see, modernlessons.wordpress.com. This is our first post. You can click on that and that'll bring you to that actual one, and you can already do things like tweet about it and Facebook about it, really whatever you want. You can always like stuff, and if this were someone else's blog, you could reblog it onto your own. You can follow a blog, which will add it to the reader that I just showed you. And one of the fun tools that you can do is also click on random post, and it will bring you to just a random post if you wanted to check sort of what you've been doing in the past. But in any case, that is about it. Let's say we want to change something, like go to the About page or something like that. We can always just click Edit, and it'll bring up our WordPress-based editor. And this will probably look familiar now that you're basically done with the beginner's course on Modern Lessons. So you can just hit enter, type a lot of words, and you can always just put in a bunch of stuff. You can put in other images, it'll already have them for you. We're not going to do any of that, so I'll just hit undo a couple times. It comes with a lot of plugins built in, like the writing helper. It'll show likes and stuff. You have different templates, so if you don't want the sidebar on the right, you can just do full width. And we'll just hit update, and it's basically instantaneous. So as soon as somebody is viewing your page and they hit this page, like right now, it'll show whatever you updated. So let's here, type a lot of words. We'll see if that's there. There you go, type a lot of words. All right, so that is about it. You can go ahead and play around with all the theme options. You may notice this little dot right here that'll actually show you your traffic once you have traffic. But in the meantime, you can just go onto your dashboard and just start playing around. You can start adding pages and posts, and it really tries to walk you through everything. It'll keep asking you to upgrade, but you don't actually need to do that unless you really want an entire different domain name that doesn't say .wordpress.com. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward, and I hope that makes sense. Thanks for watching. See you on the next lesson.